What is up, YouTube? And today we have a video for you guys talking about what units you guys should be prioritizing from the specialty change. Now, as you guys probably know, you guys can only take 2 specialty change quests at once, so you have to actually prioritize what to do because you can only unlock basically 1 or 2 at a time, which makes it a pretty long, drawn out process, and some of the quests take pretty long. So we've separated this tier list into 4 tiers. We have the top priority. These units you want to do ASAP as soon as you can. They're super powerful. Some of them you actually won't be able to do for a little bit, but we'll talk about those units. Then we have the decent tier. These units are very strong still, but not just as universal as the top priority units. These units are still pretty decent. They'll have a little bit more specific uses, and we'll talk about that. And then the niche tier, these units have 1 or 2 very specific niches, and we'll talk about what they're good at. And we also have the forgot they existed tier. Yeah, I kind of forgot these units existed. They really don't do jack shit. If they do, there's units that do it better, and honestly, they need a buff or something because they are pretty damn useless. So yeah, let's get into the tier list right away. First, we have top priority. We have Adventure Ross. So a lot of you guys think that this guy is pretty bad at the beginning of the game, I'd say. This unit without the specialty change is pretty ass, but once you do finish his specialty change, which is pretty quick, he becomes one of the best PvE knights in the game. This guy slaps. He has a defense break on his S2 with a dual attack. He has Dispel on his S1, which is very good for some bosses, such as like Hunt 13 for Azamnak and also Raid. And also he has that S3, which makes him super tanky and his team tanky as well. Probably one of the highest priorities because he's also decent in PvP as well. Some people think he's terrible now in PvP, but that's just comparative to other knights. He's still decent, especially in the early and mid game, and you even see some late game players pick him in RTA in some scenarios. Next, we have Angelic Montmorency. If you guys watch others content creators, even myself, you'll know that everyone says this unit is super broken, and it's true. She's so strong in PvE. She's the best cleanser in the game, hands down. You need a lot of cleansing for a lot of the game in PvE. And honestly, in PvP, you can actually still use her as a healer in the early game because, yeah, she cycles very quick. Next, we have Commando Rina, one of the best damage dealers for PvE in the game. She hits super hard, one of the hardest hitting units for single target because of her S2 and how her S3 scales with lower HP. It's definitely want to build her. She's going to be used into the late game for sure, pretty much forever on your account. She's a little bit harder to get though because she's a Moonlight 3-star, but she is available from connections actually. So if you do connections, you can actually get her and then do the specialty change quest. Very strong, very powerful. Used to be pretty annoying to actually do requests, but they actually changed it now, so you actually can do it a lot more quicker, so you definitely want to do it. Next, we have Savior Aiden. So this unit is actually not available in the tree or in the recruitment tab. You actually have to beat episode 4 and then do all the quests. So not obviously that accessible early into the game. So even if she's top priority, you're not going to be able to get her for a while. But once you do get to the point where you can beat episode 4 and you want to rush through it ASAP and get this unit, she is the last one out of all the quests. I think she has like 3 other forms, right? Fire, Earth, and Water. Is it Fire, Earth, and Water? I'm pretty sure. But Savior Aiden is going to be the best form because, yeah, she's light and she's just one of the best units in PvP, one of the best damage dealers in PvP, and just super toxic to play against. Then we have Unbound Knight Arowell. So Moonlight 3-star, actually the hardest to get out of this list because you have to summon for her. And she's a Moonlight, so it can take some time. But if you do get her, consider yourself very lucky. Her base form actually looks like this. So if you see this and you get her, lock it. Make sure you do her connection or her specialty change ASAP, because this unit is the best PvP tank in the game. Honestly, might be like top 3, top 5 units in the game for PvP because she has so much damage mitigation. So now we have the decent tier. These units are still very good, but they're a little bit more specific. So starting off, we have Shadow Knight Pillis. Very powerful for World Arena and RTA if you have her on the Rocket Punch Gauntlet artifact from Icarina. So pretty specific, but if you do have it, which most late game players should, she is one of the best units in the game. Also, the collab for the Rocket Punch Gauntlet should run pretty soon, honestly, so pretty good time to get her built up. Also in Guild Wars offense, she is goated. She will defeat every single counter attack team with like Senya and Shu, so very good to have. Also very good against Navy Captain Landy and Abyssal Euphine, so if you find yourself struggling against those units, very good. Magic Scholar Doris, she's only really good for Guild Wars offense, but she's super strong there. If you ever see an enemy team with a dark unit, you just bring her and it's kind of like a free win, honestly, because she can just soak all the damage and heal her team at the same time, so very powerful. Mascot Hazel, I think she's very underrated. Not so much anymore because she is required for Rift pretty much, and Rift is the source of gear that is like the best and most efficient in the game. but mostly because you can actually use her in PvE and normal areas of content where you don't need a full fire team. You just bring a full fire team anyways, and she's super good. If you guys are wondering how to beat Zio to actually unlock Saber Aiden, if you guys actually look on my channel and look for Zio free-to-play guide, you'll see a team focusing around Mascot Hazel and 3 free-to-play units, which makes it very easy. So if you guys are wanting to get Saber Aiden but you are stuck on Zio, check out my Mascot Hazel team comp. It's super effective. Next we have Researcher Carrot. So this unit is pretty good in PvP, good against Spectre Tenebrae, who's super strong and who everyone pretty much has. Also good against Earth units, and pretty decent against Navy Captain Landy as well. Falconer Clury, this unit used to be like the highest, but she got nerfed actually, which is funny. I've never seen a 3-star get nerfed, besides a long time ago with like Elson and like the other units. If you guys know, you know. But Falconer Clury used to be top tier for PvP, top tier for PvE. Nowadays, she's just decent for PvE and like not really using PvP because we have Adventure Ross, who got buffed, who's a lot better now for most areas of PvE, and the areas of content where Falconer Clury is better than Adventure Ross for PvE. You can use a unit like Brieg or like Cecilia and it'll be better. So yeah, not really that great anymore, but still decent, I'd say, especially for the early game. She can actually be used in Banshee 13, and she can actually solo Banshee 13. So if you're looking for a super solid team for Banshee 13, even though it takes a while, just use Falconer Clury with 3 other units and you'll clear. Mercenary Helga, one of the best defense breakers that's free to play in the game, has one on S3 and her S1, sorry, and her S2. Also, she is pretty supportive with her effectiveness buff for your team, so that's pretty nice, and that speed buff. She's only really used in like Ice Expo, I think, but even then there's better teams now. She used to be very good for it, but she just kind of got power crept. I'm gonna still put her in the decent tier though. Honestly, she's probably niche now, like here, but yeah, somewhere around here. I'm just gonna keep her in this area. Now with the niche tier, I kind of just moved Mercenary Helga down there, but okay. Zealot Carmen Rose, used for Light Expedition, one of the best damage dealers. That's pretty much it, but she is very good there. Ines 2.0, very good for cleavers. She has that speed buff and attack buff, and she also is very fast in the spear tier. So if you actually have her at like 270, 280 speed, she's very good. Summer's Disciple Alexa, good for Wyvern 13, regular or one-shot. Only thing is, I don't know why you would use her because you have Cigarette. If you do want to use Alexa though, you can use her if you want. The only thing is, in the early game, you're probably going to use Cigarette anyway and max her out. So at that point, you might as well use that Cigarette for one-shot as well, so you don't have those materials wasted. But Summer's Disciple Alexa, still pretty good, almost on the same level as Cigarette, I'd say. Righteous Thief Ruzid, very good for early game cleave. Just put him on all speed, and that's all you need. He just CR pushes your team. Vigilante Leader Glenn, very good at one-shotting those extinction units. What am I saying? One-shotting units and extincting them so they can't revive. So good against like Arbiter Vildred if you find them, or like even like make Chloe teams or Destina teams. But there's a lot of units that do it better nowadays. Dollmaker Pearl Horizon, I think she's actually not terrible anymore. And by not terrible, I mean she still sucks, but she's not like down here. And that's because Sleep got buffed to stop evasion, so she can actually be used like that, but still whatever. And then I forgot they existed. Yeah, Rima, Ricarus, Jenna, Wanda, Chaos Inquisitor, and Chaos Sect Axe. The units kind of all suck. Honestly, Shepherd Jenna is probably the best because Frostbite, and she can kind of cleave. But there's way better options, and she's not fast enough to open. And the second best would probably be like, I don't know, Captain Rickers for probably something like Asmonak 13, or Katie's, or Allrounder Wanda for like opening. But yeah, they're pretty bad. So yeah, pretty much it for this tier list though. If you guys have any other thoughts or opinions, let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys next video.